Today, I'm going to be talking about Dinoblade, and I'm just going to be giving what I liked about it and what I disliked about it. The main thing that I liked really caught my attention whenever you first get into the game. The main menu music. With that, just showing that badass main menu music. You can just tell right off the bat, without even getting into the game, like, yeah, this game is for me. This game's badass, okay? So now we get into the game, and the first thing I like is obviously you're a fucking dinosaur, for one, and you have just like a giant sword in the jaws of your mouth. So basically, that's badass. So there's not much to complain about there. And then next, you have basically all of the attacks of the what is it, a 5 combo? The 5 attack combo in the game is pretty badass. So as you're going through the game, that you feel pretty powerful doing that, doing flips and all kinds of shit in the air. And then later on, whenever you upgrade it, it even causes more mayhem. So yeah, there's that. And then the next thing I have down is the boss mechanics of this game. I really enjoyed learning the bosses, especially like their move set. It was pretty cool. Like, I think one of the first bosses that I had trouble with was, I believe his name was Haku. It was like that boss that was kind of like in the arena with like a bunch of bones sticking out of it. He was pretty cool. I think the next boss that I had trouble with, or it was in the same little area, was that I think his name was Shield. Is the boss that like spins around a lot and like kind of just like flips his tail onto you. I had a hard time trying to get like the parry for he hits like 3 times or something. I had a hard time trying to parry that. The next thing I had on here was the story. Whenever I got this game, I didn't expect there to be like a demonic presence, I guess, that like takes over the dinosaurs. So it seems like there's a little bit of like some lore going on there. I'll get more into that here in a moment on what I disliked about the story. But another thing about what I liked was the parry system. So the parry system, ever since I've played Sekiro, that game pretty much put me onto it. If you have parry in your game, I love it. So I pretty much loved the parrying in this game. The only thing I didn't like was sometimes it just felt like I thought I was under the impression I was parrying at the right time, but I clearly wasn't. And there was times where I kind of just assumed that I was parrying at the right time, but it just wasn't happening for me. So I was kind of having like a little hard time kind of just getting over that fact. I guess just lock in and basically get the timing down right. And like I said earlier, the experience of learning the boss mechanics was pretty fun. So it felt good whenever I beat these bosses. And the last thing I had was the upgrade system, which is just really just like whenever you defeat a boss, you pretty much get, I think it was called Boss SP, and you can pretty much use it to upgrade and like upgrade your dash ability or your meteor strike ability, or your that ability that pretty much just like stops time, and you can pretty much just wail on a dinosaur, one of the bosses, for a few seconds. But most of the time, even when you were finding a bigger boss, it wouldn't freeze them, so there was like a kind of like a bottleneck for that. And that's really about it for what I liked about the game. Now, what I disliked about the game, I wrote down not a lot of reason to explore. Like on other people's videos, kind of in my similar situation, the only reason to explore was to find like the items that you can use to like increase your Estus flask if you played Elden Ring. It's pretty much that. That's the only thing that you would want to search around for. The next thing I wrote was not a lot of reason to fight smaller enemies. So just like the noobs, like the little shitters running around the map and stuff, they were pretty much just like, there was really no reason to fight them, other than if like let's say you were on a boss and you felt like you needed to get a little bit more power, you could go run around and essentially just farm the dinosaurs. And it's not like Dark Souls or maybe even the Neo games where if you were level up once, it costs more souls to level up the next time. However, in this game, it was not like that. So you could pretty much go kill the same little mob, and you would get maybe like 3 of whatever the blue like souls are in the game, and you could essentially just kind of like slowly power creep your strength, for example, or your health. I think the other items were Stamina, and I think the other one was called like Resonance or something, but which is pretty much your mana, so might as well just be called mana. And the next thing I wrote is I didn't have enough boss SP to fully upgrade by the end of the game. So I think I wrote that one down because I was looking to get all the achievements in one playthrough, and I was under the impression that I had defeated all of the bosses. However, it seems like I didn't have enough SP to fully get everything whenever you finish the game. So that was kind of a disappointment, but I guess that's kind of just like trying to get you to go maybe do the boss rush mode, and you can maybe upgrade there. I'm not too sure. And the last thing I wrote was I wanted more lore, because if you've beaten the game, you obviously know you've beaten the final boss, and it's like I guess the demon that's talking to you through that dinosaur through most of the game, that you're using his abilities. Pretty much he wants to 1v1 you, and you end up beating him, and then like another dinosaur comes out, or demon I should say, and maybe banishes him. I'm not really too sure what's all going on. It was pretty cool, so I definitely do wish there was like a little bit more lore going on, or if like the developer could have added like, you know, like some like One Piece level poneglyphs, and they were just like little signs that we could have found around the map alongside those little health orb things that we could have gotten. But that's pretty much about it. And then the score I gave this game is probably a little bit generous, is an 8 out of 10. I mean, if I'm gonna, that's pretty high. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I might have to do it to like a 7 out of 10. Because I don't think it's a 6. Oh, man. I really don't know. Am I really going to go down 2 points in the making of this video? Who knows? I mean, let's just do it. Let's give it a 6 out of 10. Because the fighting is good, and that's the main part of the game. But everything else around it is kind of just bland. There's not a lot. The enemy diversity that's not the bosses is kind of eh. The smaller enemy, like I said, fighting the smaller enemies really didn't bring any point, because if I didn't need the power boost, I wouldn't have really fought them at all. Enemies getting stuck in the environment, sure. I don't think that would have happened in like a fully fledged like FromSoft game. But yeah, I may have to give it a 6 out of 10. I might have to change the 8 and give it a 6 out of 10. So there's that. There's Dinoblade. So if you enjoyed, please do comment, maybe even subscribe if you made it this far, and you have a wonderful day.
How would you do that?
Jigsaw.